for coming today, and thank you Chaitanya for giving me the opportunity to give the lecture today. Today we are going to read from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 30, verse 22. So it is page 666, please.
It's also up on the screen.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, page 666, please. Chapter 30, verse 22. So, if everybody can repeat after me. Purusha,
Purusha,
Prakriti,
Prakriti,
Isto,
Isto,
Hi. Purusha, Prakriti, Isto, Hi.
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Bhukte,
Mukte,
Prakriti,
Prakriti,
Janguna,
Janguna,
Bhukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Mukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Karanam,
Karanam,
Gunasango,
Gunasango,
Isya,
Isya,
Karanam, Gunasango, Isya,
Karanam, Gunasango, Isya,
Sat Asat,
Sadasat,
Yoni,
Yoni,
Janmasu,
Janmasu,
Sat Asat, Yoni, Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Bhukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Mukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Karanam, Gunasangusya,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sat Usat, Yoni, Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Bhukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Mukte, Prakriti, Janguna,
Karanam, Gunasangusya,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sat Asat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Anybody want to repeat, please?
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi, Mukte, Prakriti, Janguna, Karanam, Gunasangushya, Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Purusha Prakriti Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Mukte Prakriti Jangunan,
Mukte, Prakriti, Jangunan,
Karanam Gunasangosya,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sat Asat Yoni Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Purusha Prakriti Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Mukte Prakriti Jangunan,
Mukte, Prakriti, Jangunan,
Karanam Gunasangosha,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sat Asad Yoni Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Ladies,
Purusha Prakriti Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Mukte Prakriti Jangunan,
Mukte, Prakriti, Jangunan,
Karanam Gunasangosya,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sadasat Yoni Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Purusha Prakriti Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi,
Mukte Prakriti Jangunan,
Mukte, Prakriti, Jangunan,
Karanam Gunasangosya,
Karanam, Gunasangushya,
Sadasat Yoni Janmasu,
Sadasat, Yoni, Janmasu.
Purusha Prakriti Stohi,
Purusha, Prakriti, Stohi, Sangosya
Sadasajyoni Janmasu.
Sarasadyoni Janmasu
Purusha,
Purusha,
the living entity.
the living entity
Prakriti, Prakriti-stha,
Prakriti-stha
being situated
being
situated
in the material energy.
in the material energy.
He
He
certainly
certainly
mukti
Mukti
enjoys.
enjoys
Prakriti-chan,
Prakriti-chan
produced by the material nature.
produced by the material nature.
Gunan, the modes of nature.
The modes of nature.
Karanam,
Karanam,
the cause.
the cause.
Gunasanga,
Gunasanga,
the association with the modes of nature.
the association with the modes of nature.
Asya,
Asya,
of the living entity.
the living entity.
Sadasa,
Sarasat,
in good and bad.
good and bad.
Yoni,
Yoni,
species of life.
species of life.
Janmasu,
Janmasu,
in birth.
in birth.
Now the translation by Srila Prabhupada. The living entity in material nature thus follows the way of life, enjoying the free modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species. Can everybody read together the translation, please? All of us? Okay.
The living entity in material nature follows the way of life, enjoying the free modes of nature. This is due to the association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil amongst various species.
Thank you. Now, the purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Clifford, do you want to read the purport, one paragraph and somebody else read?
Read it all out, yeah.
Yeah, just read one paragraph and somebody else can read.
Purports. This verse is very important for an understanding how the living entities transmigrate from one body to another. It is explained in the second chapter that the living entity is transmigrating from one body to another, just one change of dress. This change of dress is due to his attachment to material existence. As long as he is captivated by this false manifestation, he has to continue transmigrating from one body to another. Due to his desire to lord over material nature, he is put into such undesirable circumstances. Under the influence of the material desire, the entity is born sometimes as a demigod, sometimes as a man, sometimes as a beast, as a bird, as a worm, as an aquatic, as a saintly man, as a boat. This is going on. And in all cases, the living entity thinks himself to be the master of his circumstances, yet he is under the influence of material nature. Carry on, yeah?
Anybody else read it?
How he is put into such different bodies is explained here. It is due to association with the different modes of nature. One has to rise therefore above the three material modes and become situated in the transcendental position. That is called Krishna consciousness. Unless one is situated in Krishna consciousness, his material consciousness will oblige him to transfer from one body to another, because he has material desires since time immemorial. But he has to change that consciousness. That change can be effected only by hearing from authoritative sources. The best example is here. Arjuna is hearing the signs of God from Krishna, the living entity. If he submits to this hearing process, will lose his long cherished desire to dominate material nature, and gradually and proportionately, as he reduces his long desire to dominate, he comes to enjoy spiritual happiness. In a Vedic mantra, it is said that as he becomes learned in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he proportionately relishes his eternal blissful life.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Om Majjana Timadesha Janindra Salakaya Chakruni Danyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so now I'll start some comments on this chapter. First of all, I will like to ask you a question. Like if somebody asks you who you are, say for example, who am I? So can I get some answer, please? Who do you think you are?
Eke checking after servant of Lord Nichinanda. I hadn't realised that. I just sort of dropped the name.
What I mean is that who you are, and ask yourself, who am I? So what will you say?
I'm a doctor.
Anybody else?
Just, no, I share with some people sometimes now. I just know I'm kind of as far as knowing I'm not who I thought I was. I'm not. I'm aware of that delusion, but I'm not sure what's after that.
So what do you think you are then?
I'm certainly. I'm learning. I'm not the mind. I'm not the body.
Right. Anybody else? What do you think you are?
I'm a spiritual being on a spiritual path.
Hmm?
Well, if somebody said, who are you, I would say babe, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say anything other than that. And it depends what the circumstances are. Sometimes if I'm with my children, I'm Annie and Andrew's mother. If I'm with my parents, their daughter. So it can change who I am depending on time, place and circumstance.
Actually, that's true. If somebody asks you who you are, the first things you will say, well, I am this person, I am this schedule, I am this and that. Of course, this we will say because we are in the material world. But actually, in our Vedic literature, in our scriptures, there is another meaning of who we are. Like we got lots of Upanishad, which is a very sacred book, and there it is. One of them is the Mundaka Upanishad 319. There it's explained that the soul, we are the soul, we are the spirit soul. We are not that body, but we are the spirit soul. And it is explained there that the soul is atomic in size and can be perceived by perfect intelligence. It is situated within the heart and it is very small in size. So, in another Upanishad, it is explained that when the soul leaves the body, then the body dies. So now this is a big question. Many people have asked Srila Prabhupada, so how can you say that we are the spirit soul, that we are not this body? So Srila Prabhupada have many times answered this question and said, well, because something is invisible, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Everybody has got mind, everybody got intelligence, and everybody got false ego, but we can't see them, but still they are here. Like if you see, say for example, we say, okay, Gaurang is very intelligent, but we can't see, but it is here. We can perceive, we can notice. So similarly, Prabhupada explained that we are not this body. This body is just like a dress. Say, for example, when we are wearing a shirt, a dress, whatever, it becomes very old. So we get rid of it and we change it, we put another one. So this is a characteristic of the soul. So the soul is here, but as soon as the body grows old, or even whenever it is time for it to leave the body, it just leaves the body. So this is what is explained in that chapter, Srila Prabhupada's translation. It says that we transmigrate from one body to another body. And Krishna himself, he explained in Bhagavad Gita, there is so many places where he explained what is a soul. So let us open our book. So before that, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is another scriptures, 7 to 22, it is demonstrate the soul again. This time it said, the soul has no death and is eternal. So the soul is eternal. It cannot be killed. It is inexhaustible. It is very different from the material body. Because why we say we got a material body, it is just because we, by misuse of independence, we are obliged to accept a gross body, which is, the gross body is what we have. This is a body, and this body is made of 5 elements. Does anybody know what is the 5 elements of our body?
Earth, water, fire, ether, air.
It is earth, water, air, fire, and ether. So this is a gross body, and within that gross body, we got the subtle body. And the subtle body is false ego, mind, and intelligence. Bhagavad Gita, page 88 to 12. Then we will see what Krishna says about the soul. Please, if you can open Bhagavad Gita, page 88.
It'll be up on stuff on here as well. On the screen.
So let us read together that verse, text 12. So if all of us can read it together. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. First, this is the words of Krishna. He said that never was there a time when we did not exist. None of us has never stopped being existing. So it means, so how can he say that when we know that, okay, one day the body will go. So how can Krishna say that never was there a time when we did not exist? So what he meant, he said that the soul was always here, but what happened, it keeps changing. It keeps changing the body. So this body is just temporary. I will place, if Bhagavad Gita 2:13, if you can put verse 2:13, Shri. If all of us can read together again, please. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from birth to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not divided by such a change. So in this verse, Krishna explained, as the soul continuously passes in this body from birth to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at time of death. So another verse quoted by Krishna when he was talking to Arjuna, giving example what the soul is. And in this chapter 2, Krishna defined the soul so many times that the soul cannot be destroyed, it cannot be slain, it is unchangeable, and it is everlasting. So we might think that how can this be true? Because we cannot see the soul. But in all the scriptures, it is described that the soul is here. And in chapter 2, all along the chapter, Krishna described what is the soul. So if whenever you get a chance, just try to read. And also in our another Upanishad, the Chandogya Upanishad 8:6:1, it is mentioned that knowledge of the self should be realized by our own identity. The more we realize our spiritual identity, the more we will understand that we are above this material nature, and our identity is not simply like saying that, oh, I am a white, I am black, I'm skinny, I'm fat, I am intelligent, I am dumb, or I'm blind. Real blindness means not being able to see through the temporary and superficial bodily condition. Seeing reality means to recognize the spiritual nature of everyone. It is described also the size of a soul. It is very little. It is like the tip of a hair and divided by 1,400 times. So it is very, very little that we cannot see it. So also we can understand that within the gross physical body, composed of, like we have said, of this element, we got a subtle body, and this subtle body consists of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So why do we associate ourselves with this material body? Because it is all due because of our ignorance. We are ignorant, so we associate ourselves that we are this body, but in fact we are not. So it is explained, Krishna explained here in the verse which we are reading, like chapter 13, verse 22. It's explained that we are completely engrossed in the three modes. So we got three modes of nature. Does anybody know what is these modes of nature?
Mode of goodness, sattva good.
Yeah,
Mode of passion.
yeah,
Mode of ignorance.
mode of ignorance. So this is the three modes of nature that affect us completely. So what Krishna Prabhupada tried to explain is that we are not that body. We are the spirit soul. But due to our, when we come, like when we got a body, whatever the body is, it can be a human being, it can be animal, it can be anything. Because according to our scripture, Prabhupada said we got, anybody know how many million of species of life we got? Check.
8.4 million different species.
8,400,000 species of life. And this includes all species of life, including aquatic, including animals, including birds, everything. It's all these animal or whatever types of body we have, everybody got a soul. So, according to the modes of nature, the three modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, this is what will decide what our next birth will be. So, now let us talk a bit about the three modes. First of all, let us talk about the modes of passion. Anybody knows what is a mode of passion? How can we describe the modes of passion?
Intense desire.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yeah. Yes, checking.
It's when you're working very hard, but you have a desire to get some results for it. So, you're working very hard to get money. So it's working hard with a desire to get something from it.
Mode of passion is full of longings and desires. We become so much like want to get this and that and working and never get time for anything else. But we got affected by the mode of passion. And then there is also the mode of ignorance. What is the mode of ignorance? Anybody?
Distress,
Yeah.
lamentation.
Yeah. So, mode of ignorance is when we don't even know what we want. We just got attacked by so you know what happened? We get a body. Whatever the body is, say for example, we got a body by chance, we have been born like a human being. So, Krishna explained clearly that though we are that body, we are engrossed in the material, like the three modes of nature. This has always been here. It has been explained in chapter 14, everywhere in chapter 14, from verse 5 to verse 17. It is all explained. Krishna talked about the three modes of nature, all of them. So actually, what is happening is that when we get engrossed in these three modes, we get attacked by any one of the modes, so we go according to that. If we got, like say for example, we got big desires, we are hankering after things, so we become like attached to the mode of passion, and we cannot get rid of it at all. We become more passionate, and we go in there further and further. And mode of ignorance, this is where we go into intoxication. We do go into intoxication due to our distress. We are distressed, we are fed up of life, we don't know. Or there's two things where we go in the mode of ignorance. Either we are distressed, or is that we just want to fulfill our senses. We just want to get more and more for our senses, so then we go to intoxication. So this is purely mode of ignorance. Because once you go there, you go deeper and deeper to madness. And once you go to madness, you don't even know where you are going, what is going to happen. And this leads to many, many bad things. Because when you are in the mode of ignorance, you don't know what you are doing. It go to crimes, go to anger, go to lust, it goes everywhere. So this is another mode where we get attacked very much because we are in the material where we can't help it. We will get attacked by the three modes. Whatever we want or not, we just get attacked by the three modes. And there is another mode, this mode is a mode of goodness. So anybody can say what they think about the mode of goodness?
Leads to knowledge.
Yeah. So mode of goodness is a bit.
So I thought you were asking the audience.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see.
It means like working like as a matter of duty. Doing your duty because it ought to be done and not because you've got some desire. That's one of the symptoms of no goodness.
Yeah. And also mode of goodness is like you do charity, you do some charity work, you do some good things, you help people on the street, somebody is hungry, you give him some food, or you do some good things to your friends. So all these things is like you are doing everything in the mode of goodness. But there is a bit higher mode of goodness where some people are simply person. They do pious activities. And Prabhupada said that when you are really in a mode of goodness, you will be born again. You don't go back to Godhead. You will be born again, but this time you will be born like a king or a rich person, and you can just come back here in this material world to enjoy the material things again. So what a devotee wants, what we want, like the devotee of Krishna, we want to go above these three modes. We don't want to be in the mode of goodness, no passion, no ignorance. So we want to go above these three modes, which is the pure devotional love for God. So that is our main goal of life. There is many little pastime that has happened, which shows how many great personality has been attacked by the modes of goodness and passion and ignorance. There was like Ajamil, who was like a sage. He was a brahmana. He was quite pious. And then when he got attached to a prostitute, and he fall down, like he stopped doing pious activities. He just got engrossed in this life, and this is how he got attacked by the mode of passion and ignorance as well. And also there is another little pastime which maybe then you people won't know much, but I just want to share it. It was that Krishna gave a jewelry called Shamataka to Balram. He gave that jewelry to Balram, and Balram took it and gave it to the sun god. And when the sun god, he was very pleased by one of his devotees, Satyaji, so he gave it to him. And the jewelry, when somebody holds it, it shines as if you look like the sun itself. So one day, when that person, named Satyajit, he was carrying that jewelry, he was shining so much that Krishna saw it, and Krishna said, you know what, it's better you give it to the king. At that time, the king was Ugrasena, the king of Mathura. So he said, why don't you give that jewelry to the king? But that person didn't want to give it to the king. So what he did, he gave it to his brother, and his brother's name was Prashena. So that Prashena, he took the jewelry and he loved it so much that he kept it with him. Wherever he goes, he just got attached. They were very great personalities, but still they were under the modes of goodness and passion and ignorance. Everybody keeps getting attacked by these three modes. So while he was carrying that jewelry, one day when he went hunting in the forest, he got attacked by a lion. and the lion killed him. The lion took the jewelry, and the lion just went nearby a cave where there was a bear-like personality whose name was Jambawan. He was staying there. So when he saw that jewelry, he killed the lion and took that jewelry, and he wasn't attached to it really. He gave it to his son to play. So the son started playing with it and become very attached. Because the son was attached to that jewelry, that Jambawan, he also become attached to it. So now the people of Mathura was blaming Krishna and saying, maybe you took that jewelry and killed Prashena because you wanted it to go to the king. So then Krishna, to show that he didn't do that, he went at the research, and finally he came to Jambawan, and then there was a big fight which lasted for 28 days. And after that 28 days, then Jambawan realized, oh no, I am fighting with a very great personality. And then he realized that this is Vishnu, this is Krishna himself. And then he remembered that in his past life, he had a pastime with him, like Lord Rama, when he went to fight with Ravana. So he realized that, then he said, oh no, he asked for forgiveness, and then Krishna got married to her daughter. So this is a small pastime just to let you know how even everybody can get in touch with these remotes. So, mode of ignorance is just the opposite of goodness. It is really pure darkness. Somebody who is in the mode of ignorance really doesn't know what he's doing. And this, while I'm explaining about these modes, just to explain that, like we said, that the soul is here. So, when the soul leaves the body at the time of death, what happens? Where does it go? So, it goes according to the three modes. So, if a person has always been here in the mode of goodness and passion and ignorance, so according to what he has done, like we say, action got reaction. So, according to that action, which we call karma, this is what Krishna will decide what type of body he will get. So, say for example, somebody has really been in the mode of ignorance all the time, and he just doesn't know, he stays in that all the time, then, unfortunately, next life he might get an animal life. He can become an animal. So now maybe the question will be, how do we believe in that? Well, this is what our scriptures say, that Prabhupada gives many examples. Sometimes we don't see things, but it is here. So, how can you explain that there is not much difference between a human life and animal, because we got the four characteristics, we defend, we make, and we just eat and we enjoy. So an animal also do the same stuff. Only the difference, we human, we work to earn our living, and the animal just go and get their food anywhere. So actually, one student, he was asking to Prabhupada. He told Prabhupada, so we are saying that there is so many species of life. So what about frogs? Sometimes you got frogs, and when they lay eggs, there's so many frogs can appear. Then Prabhupada say, yeah, this is true, because a snake also, when they give birth, they give score and score of birth of snake. But by the nature of law, by the law of nature, the snake eat another snake. So this is all, the world is ruled by that. Like we got animals, we got human beings, but behind all this, there's a big brain. And that big brain is Krishna, because he knows how to maintain the world, how to maintain everything, like how to annihilate this animal and how another one is appearing. So this is the three modes of nature that we can face all the time. And now in this age, like where we are living, is called the age of Kali. So I will tell you about a little pastime which has happened. Arjuna, that is all Bhagavad Gita is being taught by Krishna to Arjuna, who is his dear friend, explaining about how we will live here, why we are here, what is our mission here, and where we will go after death. So Arjuna was explaining that, Krishna was explaining that all this life we have to know where we want to go and what we want to do really. So I will now relate a small postcard about Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was the grandson of Arjuna. One day when he was passing by, he came across a very abominable scene. And what was the scene? The scene was he saw a bull standing only on one leg. The two legs was already chopped and only one leg was left. And he was busy chopping the third leg. Parikshit Maharaj was very angry. He came there and he stopped it and he said, I'm going to punish you because what are you doing? Why is this bull suffering so much? And the bull, he was standing only on one leg, like he was praying. But apparently this bull represents Dharma. It represents this age. And the four legs, can anybody say what is the meaning of the four legs? The three legs which has been chopped and the only one leg which has been remaining. Does anybody know? Yeah?
Truthfulness.
Yeah.
Height.
Yeah. So, Chaitanya?
Yes, described that there's four pillars of religion: truthfulness, mercy, austerity, and cleanliness. So the four legs of the bull represent the four pillars of religion.
Yeah. So these four legs represent the four pillars of religion, and so that Kali, this is the age of Kali. This Kali, he has chopped the three legs. So what is these three legs? One is mercy. Mercy is gone. He already chopped it. So we can see now there is no mercy, because nowadays there is so many killing of animals, there is so many killing of everything. So there is no mercy at all. So that is why we devotees, when we eat, even when we chop the vegetable, we offer it to Krishna, so that Krishna accepts all the reaction, so we don't get any reaction by cutting vegetable or whatever. And also there is cleanliness. Cleanliness means, like nowadays, practically it is becoming very rare. Like we see so many prostitutes going to venereal disease and illicit sex everywhere. So this leg is chopped, it is gone. We don't have this anymore. And another leg which is being cut is austerity. There is no austerity anymore now, because people are too lazy, too much attached to everything, too much attached to mode of passion, ignorance, and so they don't have time for austerity, so this is gone as well. The only leg which is left, but it is shaking right now, in this age it is shaking, and this is truthfulness. Because nowadays truthfulness is going, because people are betting, gambling, and so all these things are happening, so this leg also is going on. So now to come out of all of these modes, free modes, and to get all these things back, austerity, mercy, and everything. So can anybody say, how can we attain that stage? How can any one of us attain this stage?
Should be beyond those words.
Yeah.
Does not get affected.
So what do you mean by beyond these three modes?
So the top mode is a good mode of goodness, so we should be transcendental to that mode.
Actually, to get out of this is Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness, the soul rids itself of the coloration of the three modes and returns home, return back to Godhead. So, whatever we say, whatever money we have, whatever big job we have, whatever material we are enjoying, nobody can say exactly that they are happy. Can anybody say that they are very, very, very happy? Lift your hand if anybody can say that. nobody. So it means it's true. We are not happy. So still, we can have a big car, we can have a big house, we can have very, very nice children, but still we are not happy. So why? Why we are not happy? Because at some point we will get distressed. We will get old age. You cannot escape old age. You cannot escape distress. You cannot escape anxiety, and you cannot escape diseases. Whatever happens, we will get diseases, and all of us should die. So when we die, what happened? As we have just talked about it, the soul, we are not this body, we are the soul. The soul go. Where does it go? It goes according to what we have been doing in this life, according to the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. So, for us to be very careful, what we want to do is we want to go back to Krishna. Who is Krishna? Krishna is, we believe Krishna is God, because this is Prabhupada has so many books, our scriptures say that Krishna is God, and we believe Krishna is God. So we want to go back to Him. Why we want to go back to Him? Because we form part and parcel of Him. We are part and parcel. We are not Krishna, but we form part of Him. And we have been with Him, enjoying life. There is no disease, no death, nothing to worry, no worries at all. We were there. But due to our anxiousness, we came to this world. We have to go again and again. So how to go back to Krishna? The only way is to do devotional service. And can anyone say how to do devotional service? Haja, you can tell us a bit.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is here, he came when he see that we are such in distress, that we want to go back to Him, but we don't know the way. So He came here and He gave us the Maha Mantra. So this is the way we go to Krishna. The only way to go to Him is by chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So one day there was a student, his name was Vishnujan. He asked Srila Prabhupada, how do we render service to Krishna? How can we go back to Krishna? Now listen what Prabhupada said. Prabhupada said, by your anxiety. Anxious to serve Krishna, that is the real asset. Krishna is unlimited. What service can we do to Him? He is unlimited. He got everything. He got millions and millions of servants. What service can we do? He doesn't need us. So, what can we do? How can we go back to Him? Because Krishna is perfect in Himself, so we have to render service. And if we become anxious to serve Him, He does not refuse. Once we want to serve Him and we become anxious and anxious, then Krishna look at us. He look at us, and once Krishna look at us, He will never go away from us. He will protect us, He will come to us, and He will take us back to Him. And how do we do that? It is just by serving Krishna. Just get a little time coming to the temple, chant the Maha Mantra, think about Krishna, everything you do, just put Him. And even if you are still affected by the free modes of nature, just put Krishna in the middle of it, and He will help us. And He will take us out of the free mode. This is what the guarantee Prabhupada gave, and Krishna Himself said in chapter 18, verse 66. Is it 66? It said, Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sarvam Vraja Aham Tam Sarva Pavidiyo Moksha Vishamiya Sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender to me. I will deliver you from sinful reaction, do not fear. This is a promise from Krishna that He will deliver us from this material world. So I think I will end here. If anybody got any comments or questions, please just feel free. I will try. Yeah, check it.
Thanks, Vrinda, for the nice class. I just missed the last point because I answered the door, but I heard you were saying that we can become free from the influence of the three modes of material nature by chanting Hare Krishna. But You know, how do we know that? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I chant Hare Krishna and I don't necessarily feel like I'm free from the modes of material nature. So how do we know? How do we know that we're becoming free from the modes of material nature?
Actually, Prabhupada explained, and it is in the Nectar of Instruction, one book written by Sri Prabhupada. It is it's not only by chanting Hare Krishna, of course this is the main one, but there is a different process as well to go. You know, like we have taught, the mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. What we want, we don't want these three modes, we want to go above it. So what is this, the fourth one? The fourth one is Bhakti Yoga. This is a pure devotional service where we can go to Krishna. So there is many stages before reaching there. The stages which we have to go is first, we have to have faith. We have to have faith first. And then the second one is we have to be association with devotees. Once we get association with devotees, we talk about Krishna, then we become firm in our belief. And then we do service, like when we come, like there is Wayne and Cliff and everybody. When they came here, I was very, very impressed when I first saw them. They didn't really know what is Krishna consciousness. But the first day they came here, after the feast, they went directly to the kitchen and they started washing the pots. One of them wanted to clean. So indirectly, they are doing devotional service, you know, because they could have just eaten and go home. But no, they are serving, they are using their hands, they are using their legs, they are walking in the temple, they are cleaning and they are washing the pots. So this is a way to attain the higher than the mode of goodness. So in this way, when you have faith, if you start coming, then like I'm saying, there's 9 stages, and you have to be steady, you have to get the taste, and also you have to get attached to Krishna, and then you have to develop the love for Krishna. So by giving this, by having all these stages, then you can believe that by chanting Hare Krishna, you will get out of this. Yeah. So have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
And not only this, I just want to add, this is only 9 stages, but also we got many other which we won't get time. Like, you know, we have to believe that Krishna is here and be totally dependent on him. And so this is a faith, what we call. Yeah. Any other question?
How can I believe that Krishna is here? I'm not sure, you know, how can I just believe he's here?
What was the question, just so they can hear it online, because we need a microphone for the speakers.
How can I believe that Krishna is here?
How can you believe that Krishna is here? Well, like Prabhupada said, many questions. Many times they have asked him questions like that. How can you believe? But sometimes there is things that is invisible but still is here. Like you say, the mind is here. And also you should have faith. And according to our scriptures, which is has been here 1,000 and 1,000 years, it is said that Krishna is God. So to know better, to believe it really, this is I have just talked about the stages. You have to have faith, and when you got association with devotees, when you are reading, the faith develop, and then you start believing that Krishna is here. And also Krishna will reciprocate. So many devotees has known that Krishna really reciprocate. Because when Prabhupada went to America, when he spread the Krishna consciousness in the West, he was 70 years old. He didn't have anything. I think he got only 40 rupees in his pocket. He traveled in a boat, in a ship, he traveled in that ship and he went to America. He didn't even know many people there. He got 2 heart attacks in the boat, but he has faith in Krishna. At 70 years old, look what he has done. Krishna consciousness movement is spread all over the world. And believe me or not, it is even spread in countries like Muslim countries, but where they don't believe in idol or anything like that. But when we were still back home in Mauritius, Bibi Govinda Swami came and he brought devotees from Kazakhstan, and they became so sincere devotee. And the Maharaj was explaining to go to, they were not allowed to do any temple there. They were meeting in a house, and these girls, they were hiding, putting their veil and everything, and going to that house, and just to listen to Maharaj, and they change, they become devotee. So this is faith. So how did they believe in Krishna? Because their faith was so steady, and Krishna reciprocated really. Yes, Charity.
Thanks, Vrinda. I just wanted to add to that, to your answer as well, there, that because you were talking about saying that we believe that Krishna's here because it's said in the scriptures, and you know we have to have faith, but we may not believe in the scriptures anyway. You know, so but Prabhupada gave like kind of a logical answer also to this, is that we experience Krishna when we chant his holy names. So he would give the example that you can chant Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that this evening for the next half an hour. But when you chant Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is different, the word Coca-Cola is different from the actual object, when you chant Coca-Cola, you don't, your thirst isn't quenched. Actually, you'll become even more thirsty. But when you chant Krishna's name, because Krishna and his name are non-different, that actually you experience great happiness, great satisfaction. And you know, you could listen to your favourite song again and again and again and again and again, but how many times could you listen to your favourite song in a row? You know, if you listen to your favourite song, you know, for like...
It becomes your least favourite song.
Yeah, it becomes your least favourite song. But Hare Krishna, you can carry on chanting it. Prabhupada said 25 hours a day. And in a moment we'll experience, or your money back. You can experience it for yourself or your money back. So like that, you can experience Krishna when you chant his holy names.
Also, Prabhupada gave an example like honey. Honey is sweet. So until you don't taste it, how will you know it is sweet? And somebody can describe it is sweet, it is this and that, but until you taste it, you won't know. So it is a bit Krishna consciousness is a bit like honey. So taste it, and then you will get it. Thank you very much for your attention. Hare Krishna.
Grace Vrinda Devi Dasi ki. So let's give Vrinda a big Hare Krishna to show our appreciation on the count of 3. Hands in the air, both hands, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna! That's enthusiastic. So thank you very much. So we're going to end now with some chanting of Hare Krishna, and then we hope you're all hungry because we've cooked a delicious vegetarian food. So while we're chanting now, you can just sit where you are, or if you want to, at some point, if you want to get up and you want to dance, then it said that dancing unlocks the devotion within the heart. And we've got the Hare Krishna mantra up here, so you can join it. So the idea with this chanting, Prabhupada said that even if you don't know, you don't understand the language of the mantra, still it will act. Just like a child may not know that a flame is going to burn him. He puts his hand in the flame. But will the flame not burn him just because he doesn't know? No, he'll get a burnt hand. So in the same way, even if we don't understand the language of the mantra, still it will have an effect. And the effect is that it penetrates through the very core of our being and reawakens our dormant spiritual nature. So just before we chant Hare Krishna, we're just going to recite a couple of introductory mantras, some prayers to our spiritual teachers, just to invoke blessings, and then we'll chant Hare Krishna. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachaline Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Aschacharishyatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
we'd like to say, untangle myself here. We talk about being tangled up in the mode of material nature, and tangled up in the microphone cords. So we'd like to welcome again anyone who's here for the first time, which was Edwin, I think. Is there anyone else here who's here for the first time who's come in since we've started? Everyone else has been before. So let's give Edwin a warm welcome by putting your hands in the air and giving him a big Hare Krishna on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna! We'd also like to say a fond farewell to Rishi over here. You're going back when?
I'm going back on Sunday.
Going back on Sunday. And is going back for good, or are you going to come back again?
I'm going to come back for like 18 months after my seat time.
Okay, so you're away for 18 months. Is it the Merchant Navy you're with? Or the,
yeah, Merchant.
He's with the Merchant Navy, so he's going to be away for 18 months.
Wow.
So we'd like to say a fond farewell and bon voyage, safe journey. You're going to need to take some books with you to read. You can buy some from me in the shop. No, we'd like to say thanks to Rishi. It's been really nice to have him with us here in the community. And we wish him a fond farewell. And we hope the good thing about saying goodbye is that at some point you have to say hello again. So we hope to see you again when you come back. A couple more thank yous. I know everyone's hungry. So on that note, we'd like to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you to my wife, Jagannath Aishri, who's been cooking today. Did anyone help you today, Jagannath Aishri? She's yapping. She's yapping at the back. Anyway, so we'd like to say thank you to Jagannath Aishri for cooking today's prashad. So let's give her a big Hare Krishna on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna! We hope you're all hungry. And we never charge for these programs, but if anyone would like to give a donation, they're very much welcome and appreciated, and you can leave a donation just in the donation box over here. Otherwise, we'll need a hand just to bring up the tables and the plates, cups and spoons to bring up the feast, and then I hope you've all had a really nice time, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai, Shri Panchatattva ki, Friday Night Gita ki, Bhagavad Prasadam ki, Jai, Jai Gaur Pramanande. Chaitanya Bhagavad ki, Jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai.